And we go to the next presentation, presenting one of the cost actions in Europe. For people who are not familiar with cost actions, it is a European Union funded program that supports research and innovative networks. And today we would like to hear something about ML for microbiome action. The presenter is Tatjana Loncar-Turukalo. It's a member of management committee of this project. In this project, there are also several people that are EMBnet members. And Tatjana is at the moment, if I understood correctly, associate professor at University of Novi Sad in Serbia. Please, Tatjana.
Thank you very much. I will just share my screen with the presentation. Please let me know if you
Yes, we can see it.
See the okay. I hope the presentation view is going to start. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank to the organizers for inviting me to present our cost action, machine learning for microbiome, which actually fits very well, as I can see in your network, and complements the presented work. Especially the previous talk is a very good introduction in our action and in this presentation. The full name of our cost action is Statistical and Machine Learning Techniques in Human Microbiome Studies. And it is a new cost action started last year, which actually has a very important aim to standardize the analysis by machine learning techniques of microbiome data. So I think you, as a group, do not need a big introduction in the microbiome, but you're probably all aware that the new technologies allow high throughput analysis of microbial DNA. And this is what is actually relevant and what enables machine learning to analyze this type of data. So huge amount of data that is available now is what is driving machine learning, as we could see in the previous presentation as well. So why it is important? It is important because it is the human microbiome is relevant for many processes in our body, and as well for improving our health. Because any dysregulation in microbiome could be reflected through disease, and there are a lot of papers already present that actually as well, besides the food and nutrition, what is microbiome is physical activity. Here in this slide, the composition of microbial composition in our body depends on the body site and differs largely between the body sites. So we are interested in all of these data sets, and all of these affect our health and disease as well. So how the machine learning can help? Actually, all of these data sets, which are huge now and abundant because the technology is getting cheaper, give us a potential to improve the health and to prevent disease progression. But on the other hand, there are many challenges with this type of data. First of all, there are many different data types that are present and available. Then in any medical or biological data, there is a lot of noise, and there is a lot of variation between individuals. So this is as well a tricky thing in machine learning, which has to be handled in an appropriate way. Then another problem which is present in microbiome data is the number of samples, which is usually small when compared with the number of microbes which we have in our body. And this is as well an important problem in machine learning, which is called curse of dimensionality. So we have a lot of features, a lot of dimensions, but small number of samples, typically in different studies. And additionally, machine learning models are hard to generalize across studies. So this is one more difficulty that we came across. So what is the aim then of our cost action is actually to optimize and standardize the machine learning pipelines for the analysis of microbiome data. So there are types of data, and for those types that are present now in the literature, we should address different machine learning algorithms, evaluate them, and then provide some kind of standardized machine learning pipeline for their analysis. So how do we achieve this goal? First of all, we are divided in 4 work groups, 3 of which are actually work groups that are more scientifically oriented. And the 4th work group is actually our group, which is oriented toward the dissemination of our results and the training of our participants. The first work group is a relevant group for state-of-the-art evaluation. So we addressed literature which is present so far, and all the studies on microbiome data which involved in some way machine learning methodology. So far we have a lot of one repository of those studies, and we are in the progress of writing a paper which is a review of those approaches that have already been applied in microbiome data. And this will be one very important dissemination for our action, and one very important start for the standardization of the machine learning procedures. So we are not starting from the 0 point, but from those experiences that we already have in the literature. Then work group 2 is actually devoted to establishing benchmark data sets for the testing of machine learning methodology. So they have at the moment very difficult task to find the data sets and to curate those data sets and prepare them for machine learning analysis, because we are quite ambitious in this working group because we want to initiate one dream challenge that would actually use these data sets and machine learning methodologies to provide the best results. And there is a huge job in front of us to organize this challenge. I will talk a little bit more about it later. Then we have a work group 3, which is actually the core work group that should evaluate different machine learning methodologies and provide those standardized machine learning pipelines. And of course, the focus right now, after the first year of our cost action, is on these 2 working groups, so work group 2 and work group 3, which have to finalize first the dream challenge data sets and then the machine learning pipelines. Our network is ever growing. So in the beginning we have the 24 countries, now we have 34. As well, the number of participants is 113 at the moment. And we have as well a big participation, more than a half, from inclusiveness target countries. And we have 23% of early career investigators. Those are researchers which are 8 years or less than 8 years after PhD. Our action chair is Markus Claesson, and you can see his affiliation here. So here are some photos from our previous meetings. We had 3 MC meetings, 2 of which were live, and the third one was online. And we had one training school, which was a very important event for our network, because it was some kind of cross-fertilization between the biology and bioinformaticians and computer science and engineers on the other side. And in the first year, we had 7 short-term scientific missions completed. So because maybe the training materials are the most interesting for this group. Now I made several slides just to see how can you get involved or get some materials that are available within this section, and as well get some funding if you are doing research in the microbiome data analysis. So our first training school in Sarajevo in September last year was actually the joint training school of our participants with biology background and technically oriented participants. And the idea was that we learn more about biology, about the data types actually which are present in microbiome research, and for the people from with biology background to learn more about machine learning basics at least, and models about their validation and evaluation. And as you can see, there were much more those technical talks, but however, the talks we had from biology were really great. The materials from all of those talks will be available on the website of our action, so you can download it and view these. Very important instrument in COST actions are shorter. This is an excellent tool, individual mobility. You can foster collaboration with some other partners within the network, but overall this scientific mission has to contribute to the scientific objectives of the and this might be interesting for the younger applicants, for PhD students, postdoctoral fellows, but there is no limitation in years you can apply. It is only important that you are researchers, which is affiliated research with any research institution. And one important term in COST actions is early career investigator, because a lot of those instruments within COST is actually devoted to early career investigators, and those are researchers that have most 8 years after PhD. So if you are within this group, then you might be interested in short-term scientific missions. So how to apply? You can use eCost services. Just go to the COST site and you will see the link to the eCost. And you should provide actually the support letter from your home institution and the letter of invitation of the researcher which you visited. It is important to note that neither you nor the host has to be affiliated strictly to our action, but the work plan has to be aligned with the action goals. So there is as well a STSM application form where you write the work plan for this research visit, and usually the applicants are required to provide the full CV. The COST then provides the funding for this scientific mission, which is maximum 3,500 euros, and should cover all your travel, accommodation, and living expenses. The selection is done by the STSM.
We have lost you. We have lost you.
I couldn't hear this, but
okay.
Diana?
Yes.
Could you explain again a little how people can apply, and that you don't not necessarily need to be member to do that, but all that, because the sound was not very good for a moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I see that there are some notification. Okay, I will just switch to the previous slide. So these are the steps what you should submit, but it is relevant what Eric said, that you are not obliged to get affiliated with our action. So any researcher from Europe who wants to who works on microbiome data analysis and wants to visit a collaborator within the same field can apply for the STSM action using the link. Provide more information on COST action website, which is here below, above provided. So please do go ahead and read our STSM guidelines that are present on our website, and feel free to apply. So there is no need to be affiliated with the action itself in order to get funding. This is very relevant thing. Another relevant thing is that we have an open call at the moment, and it will stay open until we spend our funds. And this open call is valid until 1st of April next year. So you have to go to the STSM scientific mission and come back, provide the report of everything until the 1st of April next year. And for this year, we have a focus on the work group 2 and work group 3. So either you work on, you can work on organizing Dream Challenge, which is a really very big and important work for our action, or you can go for an STSM strictly on working on data analysis, you applying machine learning techniques to microbiome data, so aligned with the work group 3. So please, if you have any other questions related to application, do not hesitate to contact me by email or through our website, action website. Another thing that you can actually apply for is a so-called ITC grant. This is a grant that we provide for conferences, which is not really popular now because we cannot travel, but it can be important in some cases if you have to pay a registration fee. The maximal individual contribution is 1,000 euros. So if you have a paper on microbiome data analysis, and you have not sufficient funds for the conferences, you can apply for these ITC grants. For 1 year, we have only 2 grants like this, and they can go only to the researchers from so-called inclusiveness target countries. So those are countries which are listed here on this slide. A lot of European countries, as you can see, and please do go ahead and apply for these grants if you are from these countries and if you have interesting work on microbiome data analysis. One more thing that I would like to add is that our work group 4 is working very hard on dissemination. And after a first year of our cross-section, we have already one special issue in Frontiers, which is called Microbiome and Machine Learning. So this is a research topic which is open until 11th of November, but might be that some deadlines can be moved a little bit. You see a list of topics, so it is quite broad, and in generally it should cover all machine learning application on microbiome types of data. So if you have some work already ongoing, you can consider this special issue. And we have one more special issue, which is closing now, unfortunately, on September 30. Which is pretty much aligned with several talks here today. It is human gene expression and gut microbiome regulation. But I'm not sure, Domenica maybe knows better, that we can move any more that deadline after this date. So this would be all that I had to say about our action. Thank you very much for your attention. I will try to stop sharing the screen so I can see the chat and your questions.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Tatjana. It was very clear and interesting. And if anyone has a question, please. Domenica.
Thank you, Lubos. First of all, thank you so much to Tatjana for his participation. I invited Tatjana just for to illustrate all of you this cost action, and because we have seen during these 2 days of conference, we had a mini presentation on both machine learning and also about the importance of study microbiome data. As for just one comment for the special issue in frontiers on plant interaction with the human gene and so on, the deadline has been moved to the end of December because of the COVID, because the special issue started just 1 month before the COVID-19 pandemics exploded. So this was also a reason, because people were then many into the research field were obviously all very busy with this new field of investigation, and so we have obtained a prolongation to give people that want to submit paper in this issue to do that by the end of the year. Okay.
I will also add, I mean, Domenica is absolutely right that things are being moved. And as you can see, we also are organizing most of our meetings in this virtual way. Someone very clever said recently that to learn to survive in these times, you need to learn to accept that nothing is perfect. So anything that is not working optimal, now we have to train ourselves to be more, accept more that things can have issues, and we need to adapt to the situations rapidly. So a lot of deadlines are being moved. Nevertheless, it's very good to try to keep them, because otherwise people get even more stress as what is happening. And as I can see in my own university, is that most deadlines start accumulating, which means that you're even more stressed, getting more and more job and not finishing things that were supposed to be finished a few months ago. So saying that, I hope that many of you contribute to these special issues that were announced, and also apply for the possibilities that exist in this cost action. Anyway, we have to still have everything open. For instance, we were planning to have a training school in Uppsala for this cost action. And those training schools are very, very good and nice. A good opportunity for everyone to learn and meet other people in the same interest. But I think that this time we are going to be forced to do it virtually, because things are not getting better until January 2021. Just an announcement. We have to discuss this, and I don't know, the cost action will determine how to do. I don't know myself what the members of the action will vote for.